pleasure to partner with Mayor Francis Slay and the St. Louis Development Corporation on their 15th annual celebration of the businesses, organizations, and people who have played major roles over the past year in the city's continued growth and development. This year's awardees include people and pets, government intelligence experts, hip techies, and squares. We'll be recognizing projects that enhance city living and projects that gave us the blues. They're the latest sampling of the many businesses that in the past 15 years have come to fruition, have thrived, and have improved the image of doing business in the city under the leadership of Mayor Slay. Today, we're also going to celebrate Mayor Slay's legacy. For as you all know, this is his last business celebration luncheon as Mayor of St. Louis. More on that later. Now please enjoy your lunch while Otis Williams, Executive Director of the St. Louis Development Corporation, comes to the stage to thank the companies and the people that help SLDC do its job of furthering economic development in the city throughout the year.
All right, today's event could not be possible without the support of the St. Louis business community. So I'm going to recognize the sponsors, and first I'll start with our platinum sponsors, which are in lights, Centene Corporation, Hilliker Corporation, Insight Title Company, the Lawrence Group, Mallinckrodt Pharmaceuticals, Spire, formerly the Laclede Group, and Thompson Coburn. Give them a round of applause, please. On the big screens are our gold sponsors, beginning with BJC Healthcare, Boeing, Edward Jones, First Bank, Gilmore and Bell, Green Street, Hush Blackwell, Lodge and Hospitality Management, Mills Properties, Nestle Purina Pet Care, P&G Procter & Gamble, SCF Marine Incorporated, the St. Louis Business Journal, the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, and Stantec. Give them a round of applause, please. And our silver sponsors are Ameren, Missouri, Carmody McDonald, McCormick Barron Salazar, Monsanto, Opus, and the St. Louis Cardinals. We certainly appreciate those silver sponsors, gold sponsors, and platinum sponsors, but we also thank the bronze sponsors who are listed on the screen and in your program booklet. Thank you, bronze sponsors. We appreciate all of today's sponsors for your commitment to the city and for helping make the Mayor's Luncheon celebration a successful event again. We also need to thank the people who we worked with all year to make St. Louis a great city for business and a great place to live, work, and play. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our host and keynote speaker who we'll hear from later as Mayor Francis G. Slay. I would also like to acknowledge all city, state, and federal elected officials, their staff, and the cabinet members of the city. And if you're here or representing one of them, please stand and be recognized. Our partners in development, the city and state economic development staff, and the organizations that help us close so many development deals, especially our key local development partners, the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, the Regional Chamber, and Downtown STL. The volunteer members of the city's economic development boards, authorities, if you will, please stand if you're here. Thank you. The dedicated employees of the SLDC, the CDA, the Planning and Urban Design Agency, SLATE, and the Missouri Small Business Development and Technology Centers, and the Affordable Housing Commission for all your hard work on all of our projects throughout the year. Thank you very much. And last but not least, the SLDC Luncheon Committee that has worked on this for a while and is planned and executed, and the best part of it is within budget. So thank you all. We already knew, but now the world knows that Ted Drewes is the #1 ice cream spot on this planet. And so Ted Drewes was one of our businesses of the year in 2004. So as we celebrate businesses today, enjoy your world-famous frozen custard while you watch the following video.
I think at one time, people were ready to give up on the city. For some, it was tough to feel optimistic about the future. But many of us saw more, saw an opportunity. The city is the heart and soul of our region. There is that intangible something here that drives people to work hard, to create, and to strive to live out their dreams. And perhaps that's never been more fully on display than in recent years. St. Louis is a place where people want to do business. They want to be a part of our momentum. It is the people of St. Louis who have made us stronger, who are willing to work hard and support one another. Who can afford to be bold and innovative here. That's really what St. Louis is about.
Nebula opened in 2010 as the first co-working space in St. Louis. Since that time, we have seen our membership grow into the hundreds.
We have the fastest growing startup scene in the country.
Cortex is just over a 200-acre innovation community right in the heart of Central West End. And it's home to startup companies, large corporates that are innovating, and a lot of academics that are looking for ways to get connected to the startup community.
Downtown has had a 133% increase in population over the last 10 years.
The downtown of any region, of any city, really defines its brand. And so this downtown is the heart of the city. And what happens here and the progress that we've made over the last 15 years really does make a difference for the rest of not only the city, but for the region.
We've added more than $1 billion in new construction over the past year, and we're on track to exceed that amount this year. And it's not just the big projects like the Arcade, Cortex, and the National Blues Museum, but it's improvements and developments made in every single city neighborhood.
To be able to give back to the community in which I've grown up is just very rewarding for me, and it makes me happy that I'm able to work for a place that in turn coincides with what my values and beliefs are.
This area is where we have our roots. Maybe about 50 years ago, it used to be the economic development for African American entrepreneurship along this strip, exactly where we're standing. So I just really felt a need to want to come back and just kind of regrow those roots.
We are pushing to expand transportation to better connect people to jobs throughout our region. We are supporting better education opportunities for families, so businesses have an easier time recruiting top talent.
It is my hope that the great city of St. Louis can become one of the most welcoming places for people of all different backgrounds, no matter your race, class, gender, sexual orientation. If we come together and show unity, this can be one of the best places in the country and become a model.
Our future depends on creating opportunities for everyone.
We still have a long way to go, but we work best when we work together.
If you are willing to work hard, if you value community, if you follow innovation, if you know we can be stronger and you want to be part of that, then this is your city.
When you think of the word legacy, you usually associate it with something materialistic handed down from one person to another. But legacy is more. It is about sharing what you've learned, not earned. It's about sharing values, not just valuables. And immersing yourself and your life's work into something you're so passionate about that it becomes your way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of others. For Mayor Francis G. Slade, that passion has been the city of St. Louis. Mayor Slade is the city's longest-serving mayor, has dedicated his many years of public service to making St. Louis a greater, more prosperous city. A city that is healthier, cleaner, safer, better educated, and more open to diversity. During his tenure, downtown has been revitalized with major projects, including a new Busch Stadium and adjacent Ballpark Village, Lemire Place and the Four Seasons Hotel, the renovations of the old post office, the Central Library and Peabody Opera House. In addition, the City Garden Urban Park and Sculpture Garden, and upgrades to the Gateway Arch grounds, which are underway. Downtown also continues to experience growth in its residential population, seeing more than 133% increase since 2005. The city as a whole continues to improve, from the improvements in our neighborhoods to the tremendous growth in the Central Corridor. Mayor Slade has stood up for St. Louis by promoting, through public-private partnerships, the region as a hotbed of entrepreneurship, especially for life science startups, including development of the Cortex Innovation Community and the Downtown T-Rex Incubator. Calling for the city of St. Louis to re-enter St. Louis County as a municipality and promoting regionalism, including establishing the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, retaining the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, supporting state intervention to improve St. Louis public schools and championing charter schools, because no factor is more crucial to the city's future economic vitality than education, growing summer jobs for at-risk youth, and reducing childhood lead poisoning rates by more than 80%. Saving the city's earnings tax, which accounts for a third of the general revenue budget. Winning local control of the city's police department, which had been run since the Civil War era by a state-appointed board. Removing barriers to economic inclusion by extending workforce diversity goals. And leading the charge for the contractor loan fund, and for getting new software for our compliance program. Leading efforts to make the St. Louis a more progressive city by implementing a citywide recycling program, a smoking ban, promoting the city as an LGBT-friendly community, and supporting a higher minimum wage. Launching the city's first sustainability plan, along with the Sustainable Neighborhood Initiatives, which empowers neighborhood groups and residents to improve their communities. And working closely with hospitality industry leaders to boost tourism and convention business, and to improve the customer experience at St. Louis Lambert Airport. After serving as an alderman for 10 years, then as president of the Board of Aldermen from 1995 to 2001, Mayor Slade was elected mayor in 2001. He is the first mayor to be elected to the office 4 consecutive terms, always by large margins. The media called him mayor for life, but last spring, Mayor Slade announced that he would not seek a 5th term. I'm going to ask a cohort of mine to join me on the stage, Joe Reagan, but while I finish this up and invite the mayor to the stage, on behalf of the SLDC and the development agencies and the development board and the commissioners who have served during his very successful tenure, the city employees past and present, we extend many thanks to Mayor Slade and wish him all the best in his future endeavors. I'm going to invite Mayor Slade to the stage as he will deliver his city, this year's State of the City Business Address, which is his final. But before he kicked that off, we want to just have a moment to thank him for all of the work that he's done. So I'm going to ask Joe Reagan to present something to him.
Well, thank you, Otis. Thank you for this honor today to present to Mayor Slade a special recognition for his legacy as Otis has said. It was a great honor just a month ago for the St. Louis Regional Chamber to present Mayor Slay with the Right Arm of St. Louis Award, our highest honor for lifetime achievement. But listening to the mayor that night, as honored as we are to recognize his legacy as Mayor Slay, we're even more excited to hear his voice as Citizen Slay. Mayor, thank you very much.
Wow, after that outstanding video, thanks to Lorna Godwin and Vector Communications and her team and all the people that participated, and Otis's overly generous remarks, I really am almost speechless here, believe it or not, but I won't be. I promise you that. Thank you all. Thank you, Otis, for all your great leadership and your very kind and generous remarks, and Joe, thank you for the recognition and all you do at the Regional Chamber. And thank all of you for being here and all you mean and all you do for the city of St. Louis. Today we celebrate you. And we also, I want to thank a few other people. I want to thank Patricia Miller of the Business Journal for so graciously being the MC of this event. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all those who prepared and served the meal. It was outstanding as always. We really appreciate your work. Let's give them all a round of applause. But we're here today for all of you. We're here to celebrate you. And because all of you have made so many tremendous contributions and continue to make tremendous contributions to our city. You are certainly the strength of our city, the soul of our city. You are the people who create, who collaborate, who connect our city, our businesses, business by business, our blocks, blocks by block, and also our people, people by people. You have re-envisioned storefronts and old empty buildings and houses. You have given us good food, good music, good schools, better ideas, better banking options, outstanding professional services, a skilled workforce, and better choices for our children. And you have supported and created jobs, and you're still doing that. The more we can support our local residents and offer opportunities for a better future for everyone, the more we will prosper and grow together. Good paying jobs, strengthen families, reduce poverty, and strengthen neighborhoods as well. So I want to thank you for all you do for our city, and thank you for joining us here today. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. You know, you heard a little bit from Otis about the construction boom that we've experienced in the past year. We added nearly $2 billion in added construction value, marking one of the highest increases in construction over a year, from year to year. And it wasn't just the big projects like the Arch Grounds, the Arcade, National Blues Museum, what's happening over in Cortex and BJC and other things, but it was construction in neighborhoods all over the city of St. Louis. Office rehabs, new lofts, hospital construction, single-family and multifamily residential construction, new and rehab commercial construction. And this multi-billion-dollar boom isn't over. We expect this trend to continue next year with several major upcoming projects, including the Armory, Jefferson Arms, and the Railway Exchange, as well as residential affordable housing projects planned for North Sarah, Adams Grove, East Fox Homes, among others. In fact, yesterday I was notified that the city is a finalist to receive a Choice Neighborhoods Implementation Grant for the near north side of St. Louis, and that's a big deal. It'll be a big deal when we get it. Okay, we're still finalists, but what it means is a significant investment, $30 million investment for the federal government, and well over $100 million in investment locally to help revitalize an area that hasn't seen investment and development in a long time. In fact, if we get it, the HUD grant will allow us to make a transformative impact, one that focuses on health, education, public safety, social services, job training, entrepreneurship, housing, and neighborhood enhancements. This grant will help us better connect downtown to its near north side neighbors, the home of the new National Geospatial Intelligence Agency's West facility. Before long, we will be welcoming new construction workers to the site of the NGA to build an intelligence campus for 31,000 of some of the nation's brightest minds. It also is no secret that I want to see all of this connected by a new north-south Metrolink line to better connect people with jobs and to better connect people with opportunities. We need to make ambitious investments in our future so that 16 years from now, we are considered one of the success stories, one of the regions that evolved and adapted to succeed in a world economy. We have a lot to be proud of in our city, and we have a lot of potential that still we haven't tapped into its fullest. St. Louis emerges strong in the headlines on lists of having one of the best music scenes in the world and extraordinary museums. We have one of the most vibrant startup ecosystems in the nation, often described as the most innovative. St. Louis was also ranked number one, as reported by the Business Journal, according to the census, number one among the nation's largest cities with the highest percentage growth in foreign-born residents. That success didn't happen by accident. That was a collaborative effort led by the Regional Economic Development Agency and the Mosaic Project, which is part of that. We are clearly a different city than we were 15 years ago. And that's why. And that's why a little over a year ago, I directed the St. Louis Development Corporation to commission an independent review of tax incentives offered throughout the city as a checkup to our progress and as a monitor of the results of our incentivized projects. I want to make it very clear, value capture incentives like tax increment financing and tax abatement do not, in fact, reduce the city's existing tax base. It does directly the opposite. It increases it. These redevelopment tools freeze property taxes, which owners must continue to pay while helping to fill the capital gap needed to successfully invest in our city. These property owners must pay for the permits, hire contractors who pay earnings taxes to perform work, all of which generates additional revenue for our city. The city then captures the subsequent growth in tax revenues when the abatement expires. These subsidized projects would not happen generally without these incentives. In fact, once the abatement expires, the city is in a stronger position by reaping a larger contribution to our tax roll thanks to the incentive. And while the city's growth is both measurable and strong, I caution that we still have a lot of work to do to retain and grow jobs and grow our population. Incentives have played a large part in resuscitating neighborhoods and promoting investment and growth. With this commission study, we will move forward with three interrelated goals. First, to build upon how we quantify our process to make data-driven decisions that will ensure that we're investing in projects that will strengthen the city on projects that would not happen without a little help. Second, we are committed to using incentives to advance equity across the city. Although incentive allocation ultimately follows the market, we can't incentivize projects that do not exist. We are raising the bar for projects in stronger, more stable neighborhoods while simultaneously making it easier to get help to more stressed parts of our city. Finally, SLDC will continue to recommend the appropriate incentive packages to the Board of Aldermen which are designed to and have resulted in strengthened neighborhoods and the attraction and retention of city residents who shop and eat in the city and pay sales taxes and earnings taxes. So when you revitalize an old building, you bring new life to it. You keep activity there, or you bring activity there. And it does generate a lot of activity even before the incentives expire. Otis Williams and his team at SLDC have done a great job advancing our city's development options, strengthening the North Riverfront, the near North Side, the heart of downtown, expanding and connecting the Central Corridor from east to west, and most importantly, fostering growth in neighborhoods throughout our city. After all, small businesses are really the backbone of neighborhoods. And I know many of you here today, and many of you are being recognized. St. Louis is great because of all of you, because of people who believe in the city, who believe in its future, believe in a business, want to do well, and work hard at it. And as we work to create a people-first region, we must do more to work together. That means a city-county reunification. The sooner, the better. We have too many incidents where it's us versus them. That's over there, this is over here. It happened there, it doesn't impact us. We've got to get beyond that if we're going to compete better nationally and globally. It means that being colorblind isn't good enough. We must view everything we do through a racial equity lens. It means doing all we can to develop and attract and retain the jobs of tomorrow. That includes continuing our efforts to attract and promote our region as a welcoming place for foreign-born residents. It means investing and improving our transportation infrastructure. We have the Regional Freightway under the Bi-State Development Agency, including rail, roads, river, airport, and transit. And it means that we need to make major improvements to our convention facilities and the Scott Trade Center, both of which make our city a more vibrant place to live and visit and support a lot of jobs and economic activity. Together we are resilient. Together we boost our city and our region. Together, I mean working together and believing in our future is how we're going to continue to succeed and improve in the future. So thank you all for your dedication and your commitment to our city. And I want to say on my last Business Celebration Luncheon that it is an honor and a privilege to be your mayor. Thank you all. All right.
Thank you, Mayor Slay. We appreciate your leadership in the city and the region. You've left an incredible legacy for your successors to build on. You started this annual celebration of businesses, and we hope that you'll keep attending to see how the momentum that you started continues going and growing. Now it's time for the reason that we've gathered here today to celebrate the companies and individuals who have impacted our community during the past year. The Business Celebration Awards are our way of showing our appreciation for the contributions of the city business community. We are very grateful for all of the businesses that have chosen to call St. Louis home. So we'd be here all day if I had to read all of the profiles, which is something I would love to do. But for time's sake, we'll keep our intros of the awardees brief, but please take the time to read about the extraordinary contributions that they've made in the city and the region in your program booklet and the SLDC annual report, which is in an insert in today's business journal, placed at each of your seats. And of course, If you need a subscription, you know where to find me. Award winners. As you hear your category being introduced, please quickly come to the stage. And now we'll start with the Businesses and Neighborhood Businesses of the Year. There's one word that describes the importance of the 2016 Businesses of the Year, and that would be jobs. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, is the epitome of federal investment in urban areas. By deciding to build its $1.75 billion headquarters in North St. Louis and keep 3,100 jobs in the city, NGA will transform its new neighborhood from blight to bright. Representing the next NGA West is Deputy Chief of Staff Ed Donaldson. Congratulations. Nestle Purina Pet Care quietly moved 500 jobs from satellite offices to their pet-friendly headquarters downtown, where they believe pets and people are better together. Casey Berg, Director of Community Affairs, accepts the Business of the Year Award on behalf of the now 2,000 downtown workers and their furry friends they bring to the office each day. Congratulations. After a nationwide search, KPMG tapped St. Louis as its tech hub. It will add 175 jobs over the next 3 years to its downtown office. More than half of these new professionals have already joined the staff, with more to come in the near future. St. Louis Managing Partner Karen Vanya accepts the award today for KPMG. Congratulations. Penn Services' motto of whatever it takes to get the job done has landed major contracts for the Steel Erection Company, including many prestigious projects such as IKEA, BJC Hospital expansion, and Lindell Residences. Penn is also training our future workforce through apprenticeship and summer internship programs, helping the region build capacity in these areas. Congratulations, John Wilson, President of Penn Services. LTI Trucking Services is on the floor and looking for more. That's trucker lingo for full speed ahead. LTI zoomed from 40 to 350 jobs in recent years, landing them on Inc. magazine's list of the 5,000 fastest growing companies. Happy belated 10th anniversary to LTI Trucking and the driving force behind them, President and CEO Nicholas Civello. Congratulations. So almost every company can square up accounts now with the Square card reader. The mobile payment device has made it easy to do business anywhere. At its Cortex office, Square has created 200 jobs in less than a year, making St. Louis the company's second largest office. Congratulations to co-founder Jim McKelvey. Congratulations. And the square beyond compare, Emo's Pizza moved its corporate headquarters downtown, putting all of its operations and a restaurant, of course, under one roof. The Emo's family looks proudly to creating pizzeria number 100 in the coming year. Welcome to downtown, Carl Emo, president of Emo's Franchising. With 79 neighborhoods in the city, every business is a neighborhood business. But these businesses make the neighborhood. The Neighborhood Businesses of the Year are owned by individuals and families whose commitment to doing business in the city brings stability, people, and activity to their neighborhoods. Please congratulate this year's winners and their owners, starting with the First Ward, the Office of Jerome Williams, MD, Dr. Jerome Williams. The Second Ward, Broadway Sporting Center, William Roach. The Third Ward, Robert Guy and Associates, Robert Guy. From the Fourth Ward, MC Appliance, Demetrius Jones and Jeff Shelton. The Fifth Ward, Lafitte Bras and Shapewear, Tracy Beavers. We're going to ask the winners just to move through. We will do a group shot later. From the Sixth Ward, Grove East Provisions, Barry Kinder. The Seventh Ward is Broadway Oyster Bar, John and Vicki Johnson. I don't know your name, sir. O'Connell's. The Eighth Ward, O'Connell's Pub, Jack Parker. The Ninth Ward, Colleen Studio Architects, Mike and Annie Colleen. The 10th Ward, Southwest Auto Parts, Joe Barbala. The 11th Ward, Dagenhart Heating and Cooling, Tony Dagenhart and Tim Sella. From the 12th Ward, Highway Florist, Daniel and Sherry Manchanda. The 13th Ward is Hess Meat Machines, David and Michelle Hess. The 14th Ward, Boca General Construction, Samir Nixick. From the 15th Award, Tower Grove Farmers Market, Jennifer Ryan. The 16th Award, Schultz Family Dentistry, Dr. Scott Schultz. The 17th Ward, Everest Cafe and Bar, Davy and Connie States. The 18th Ward Diversity Gallery, Leslie Christian Wilson. The 19th Ward Urban Chestnut Brewing Company, Florian Coupelent. The 20th Ward, St. Louis Hop Shop, Ryan Griffin and Justin Harris. From the 21st Ward, Clayton's Barbershop, Marwin Adair. From the 22nd Ward, Sportsman's Barbershop, Clyde March. From the 23rd Ward, Pint Size Bakery and Coffee, Christy Augustin and Nancy Bohm. The 24th Ward, the Green Shag Market, Dan and Karen Tipton. From the 25th Ward, Gerbic Restaurant and Private Event Space, Ermin Gerbic. Congratulations. From the 26th Ward, Nix O'Fallon LLC, John Nix. From the 27th Ward, Amiri Image Jackie Robinson. And finally, the 28th Ward, Straub Central West End, Tom Hogan and Tim Hollenbach. Congratulations to the 2016 Businesses of the Year. Neighborhood businesses, remember to come back at the end of the luncheon for your one-on-one photos with Mayor Slay. So just a few years ago, startup fever hit St. Louis, and the temperature just keeps rising. St. Louis's hot climate for entrepreneurs has resulted in all sorts of national headlines and local headlines, including a recent visit from Vice President Joe Biden. So we decided it's time to recognize the city's tech ecosystem with our first Innovation Awards. These accelerators, incubators, and networking companies are funding and fueling the fire by offering entrepreneurs space, money, and connections to success. Please congratulate the city's Innovation Nation, starting with Cortex Innovation Community. The 200-acre district that's been described as a little European, a little New York, but totally St. Louis. Cortex is headed by President and CEO Dennis Lauer. BioGenerator, which provides free lab space for bioscience startups. Congratulations, President Eric Gulvey. Capital Innovators, the region's first accelerator program for IT startups. Judy Sindicuse was not able to be with us today. Accepting for her is Kim Plank, GM of CIC. The first Innovation Center in Missouri, the Center for Emerging Technology, CIC. Christy Maxfield, Director of Entrepreneur Development Services. CIC St. Louis, home to some of the best entrepreneurs and service firms in the area. Kim Plank, General Manager. Kim gets to accept 2 awards today. Next up is Tech Shop, the do-it-yourself playground where creatives learn and work together. Mike Hill, General Manager. And Venture Cafe, which strives to increase inclusion and diversity in the innovation sector by connecting people to make things happen. Accepting the award today is Travis Sheridan, Executive Director. Next up is T-Rex, which offers office space, specialty accelerator companies, and more under one roof downtown. Representing T-Rex is Dr. Patricia Hagan, Executive Director. T-Rex is now home to more than 180 companies and organizations innovating in the city's core. Among those, Arch Grants, whose global startup competition created a game-changing culture of innovation in St. Louis. Accepting the award with others is Ginger Imster, Executive Director. Congratulations. Our next honoree is Cultivation Capital, which invests in life science and tech ideas that have the potential to transform the way we live and work. Co-founder and general partner Brian Matthews. Congratulations. I-10, a founding tenet of T-Rex with programs for tech startups, Francis Kimler, Executive Director, and Melissa Grizzle, Director of Entrepreneur Development. Congratulations. Next up is Prosper Women Entrepreneur Startup Accelerator, one of the nation's first programs to help women-owned businesses live long and prosper. Accepting the award, Dr. Mary Jo Gorman, Lead Managing Partner. Our next honoree is 630 FinTech Accelerator, which aims at turning financial technology ideas into great businesses. A Tool Camera Managing Partner is accepting the award with a guest. The Summer of Code program at the NAACP office, Launch Code Mentor Center, caught the attention of Vice President Biden, who stopped by a few weeks ago to talk tech while on the campaign trail. The Mentor Center opened this past summer with coding classes for young African Americans to start the journey to new careers in technology. Thanks to Launch Code Executive Director Mark Bauer and Adolphus Pruitt, President of the St. Louis chapter of the NAACP, for teaming up on this initiative. Congratulations. You can't open a business without space, and Nebula offers that and more to its growing membership of mobile app developers, artists, politicians, and innovators of all types who create and collaborate daily in the heart of Cherokee Street. Congratulations to owner Jason Dean for giving professionals a place to fulfill their vision, take risks, and move our city forward. Next up, we're going to honor the 2016 Developers and Developments of the Year who have preserved housing and history. One of the area's first malls, the Arcade Building, has moved from the endangered list to one of the most spectacular historic renovations of St. Louis, thanks to Dominium Development, which means now the final piece in the old post office district puzzle is complete. Representing Dominium is Jeff Huggett, Vice President and Project Partner. Congratulations, Jeff. Next up, Garcia Development Corporation. It's small but mighty, independently owned company that excels at all things real estate. The company buys and repurposes neglected properties, mostly in the Southtown area, and finds new homeowners and businesses who love them just as much as they do. Congratulations to GDC owners Berto Garcia and Ivan Garcia. The city's newest museum, the National Blues Museum, tells the whole story of blues music and its impact on American culture, including St. Louis's role. But it wants to be more than just a museum. It hopes to be a magnet for visitors, tourists, and musicians to call St. Louis home. The Smithsonian named it one of the 12 must-see new museums to visit in 2016, so be there or be square. Thank you, Amos Harris, Principal of Spinnaker, St. Louis. With the opening of St. Louis Community Credit Union's Gateway branch, history has now come full circle. The new state-of-the-art bank is located on the original site of the first Black-owned and operated bank in Missouri. Gateway Bank still preserves the bank's great heritage of bringing affordable banking services and a caring staff that comes from the community it serves. Board Chairman Gerard Brooks accepts the Development of the Year Award for Gateway Branch. Congratulations. After 37 years of building and managing incredible apartment properties in the city, Orion Bruce Mills has established and refreshed his brand for next-gen apartment dwellers. In place of a 1960s medical building now stands the Orion Apartments, which are atop the city's first Whole Foods market. Rightfully named after himself, founder Bruce Mills can certainly be proud to add the Orion to his legacy. Congratulations, Bruce Mills. UIC renovates abandoned and historic buildings in neighborhoods such as Botanical Heights, Lafayette Square, The Grove, Shaw, and Soulard into homes, office space, and commercial use. Known for urban infill, UIC consistently makes old meet new, pushing the boundaries of historic district laws to include contemporary elements. Congratulations, CEO and Managing Principal Brent Crittenden. Another round of applause for the developers and developments of the year, please. This year's Quality of Life Award winners are moving today's youth toward a better tomorrow. Big Brothers, Big Sisters of Eastern Missouri doesn't promise to fix it, but does promise to be there for the region's most at-risk youth. Since 1914, Big Brothers, Big Sisters volunteers have made a difference in the lives of children by sharing their time, advice, encouragement, and really just by being there. We honor Big Brothers Big Sisters President and CEO Becky Hatter and its network of Bigs for showing the littles that in spite of the circumstances, anything in life is truly possible. Congratulations. The Neighborhood Rec Center was an integral part of Demetrius Johnson's childhood. And he gives back to the community in the same way, with programs that give disadvantaged kids the opportunity to grow, explore, and play. Through his charitable foundation, the former Mizzou standout and NFL defensive back is doing his part to better the lives of St. Louis youths by providing thousands of needy kids and their families with Thanksgiving dinner, dream toys for Christmas, and college scholarships. Playing it forward is Demetrius Johnson, founder of the Demetrius Johnson Charitable Foundation. Congratulations. And Otis is accepting on behalf of Demetrius, who could not be here today. At Gateway Science Academy of St. Louis, student achievement is the common goal. Gateway offers a STEM-focused college prep K-12 curriculum that teaches students to be bold inquirers, problem solvers, and ethical leaders, and readies them for life after graduation and success in the future. Last year, Gateway's first graduating class had a graduation rate and a college acceptance rate of 100%. Accepting the Quality of Life Award for Gateway Science Academy is Board President Orville Gorger. Congratulations. Food trucks have made eating on the streets so much fun downtown. Now their owners have formed the St. Louis Food Truck Association to cook up new ideas and support each other as small businesses. Members of the Food Association could not be here today because, of course, they're making lunch for the rest of downtown. So we proudly accept the Quality of Life Award on their behalf. Congratulations again to the 2016 winners of the Quality of Life Awards. Nip, tuck, repair, or replace. When you reach 50, you need a makeover to keep it interesting. I thought that was maybe directed at me at first. I was worrisome. But this year's Mayor's Award goes to Great Rivers Greenway for creating and maintaining the region's trail network and partnering with City Arch River to spearhead the facelift of the Arch grounds. The newly designed space honors our past and looks to the future, celebrating the energy, adventure, and awe of the mighty Mississippi River and our iconic Gateway Arch. A big thank you goes to Great Rivers Greenway, represented today by Executive Director Susan Trotman, for enhancing the region's overall civic well-being. Congratulations. So please join me in congratulating all of the 2016 Mayor's Business Celebration Luncheon Award winners. And thanks to all of you for joining us today and for being very important members of the team that's making St. Louis a great city to live, work, and play in. On behalf of Mayor Slay and the SLDC and the St. Louis Business Journal, have a wonderful weekend.